Hi there, this is John Wilkinson again from History Made Easier with the first of my skills presentations. And let me say straight off, I do not mean to patronise. Not at all. My sole aim is to help you achieve success. But I'm going to begin by teaching you to read. And this is best done by asking questions first. When I first became a teacher, a concept called active reading was all the rage, and I have to say it stuck with me. Active reading means reading with purpose, looking for something from your reading. And what are we ultimately looking for as students? And I think I can safely add, students of any subject. We are looking for answers to questions. But that means, of course, we must have some questions in mind. For history, I think the key questions are very simple. Who, what, how, why, to what effect, and to what extent, or how far. Look at the IGCSE questions framework. Question A is a who or what question. Perhaps a how, even if it's asking you to describe something. It's really a who, what or how question. Question B is always a why question. And question C is a how far or to what extent question. All this should hardly be surprising, for two reasons. First, historians in writing history ask questions themselves, and then set out to try and answer them. Read the introduction or the foreword to the works of the great historians. They will have questions set out in them. Secondly, history is debated. It's not a subject with definitive answers. And don't let that worry you. Question C in IGCSE is all about debate. What it means is that the examiner might disagree with your conclusion, but she knows that others might well agree. She is looking for your awareness of a debate and your ability to lay that debate out and reach a reasoned conclusion. But that's another matter and the focus of another presentation. But it means that asking questions is even more important. And that brings me back to active reading and to note-taking and to note frameworks. I use note frameworks all the time. I think they are so useful. Here's two simple examples of frameworks I've used in IGCSE classes when looking at the aims of the Big Three at the Paris Peace Conference. You can see how the first framework easily addresses a who, what, or describe question. While your notes in the first framework would also help a why question as to the different aims they each held, their perspectives and experiences and the problems they faced help explain why they held particular aims. And you can see on this slide how these notes would help a C question. The perspective and experiences of the leaders, the problems they faced, and so their aims. Of course, you have to work on how you apply your knowledge and understanding to different questions, but I can deal with that in another presentation too. While in the second framework, you have the notes you need for to what extent, how far the big three agreed or differed on key aims. Very simple, but very effective. Armed with such frameworks, your reading is now incredibly purposeful, and your note-taking highly effective. As to what goes in your notes, there will no doubt be some descriptive detail. But here's the kind of things that I think should be included in your notes. Not every set of notes, I should hastily add, but I think somewhere in your collection of notes there will be the following: basic details, names and job titles, like Prime Minister, events, dates within reason. Often a month is all that is needed, or something like towards the end of the year. Yeah? The outline of an argument or a viewpoint, two sides of a debate, examples and or evidence, perhaps a quote, but let's be clear, it's okay to paraphrase a quote in your exam, some assessment of the significance of a point, an argument, whatever, and it could be that a single word will do, links to something else that's important. Now that's my list. Let me know if I've missed something out, and I've probably missed lots out, but at least I've hopefully got you thinking about the purpose of your notes. Something else that's easily doable, though, in the age of the computer, is to put in bold what would be essential for revision. That way, your revision can be more time effective. And if there's something in your revision notes that leaves you uncertain about something, well, you can easily check it. I hope that makes sense. But don't forget that there are only so many points you can make in a timed essay. Only so much explaining you can do. So many examples you can give. So much evidence you can use. So don't get carried away with your notes. But the ultimate test for your notes is, do they enable you to answer past questions? If you find that they don't help with a particular question, well, you best add to those notes. After all, that's what they should be targeting. So, I hope that is useful for you, and I really hope I haven't patronised anybody. And don't forget that I might still have a tutorial slot available if you feel you'd benefit from that. Just get your parents to get in touch with me at historymadeeasier@gmail.com, and we'll see if we can sort something out. But thank you so much for listening, and the very best of luck with your studies. Cheers.